think I got my first bike when I was 7 for Christmas, and it was a Sears bike. I don't know if I lived on a bike, but I definitely rode 4 to 5 days a week. Yes, in the hills, because I lived in Loomis, and so I rode up to Auburn quite often. That's kind of my childhood growing up. That's how I became a cyclist. Just many long years of sitting in the road bike seat. I like the fact that I can ride my bike and it doesn't utilize the vehicle. So, and I can go as far as the vehicle can go, but it doesn't take me any gas. So I don't have to go to the gas station and fill up. I just have to make sure that I have a snack or two just to keep my energy going. So I think the reason I keep cycling is that I can go somewhere without any outside influence, such as automobiles or gas, or hurting the environment. I don't have to worry about that. The day of my accident. It's hard to describe because my memory of that day is lost, and so I have to go by stories that my wife has told me. So I was riding eastbound, and the person who hit me was going eastbound as well. He was returning from the Sacramento airport and dropping his father off, and I think he said he fell asleep while he was at the wheel, and that's why he hit me, because I was in the bike lane. And his minivan hit my bike, and my rear wheel was crushed between the bumper and the ground. I think the injuries were quite substantial. I had a traumatic head injury. I was wearing a helmet, of course, at the time, and I had extreme damage to the front of my head and also the rear of my head. And according to the hospital records, my brain was swelling and contracting, and they weren't exactly sure what to do to minimize the damage, so they ended up cutting off the front of my scalp, taking the head off to allow the brain to expand and contract without causing further damage. And I had multiple facial damage, lacerations, and my jaw was kind of broken, and they had to kind of stick that back in place. I had a broken vertebrae, so I had a back surgery. My left kneecap was exploded into 5 pieces, so I had a knee surgery. My right knee was damaged, and I have multiple scars on that, so they were just able to sew that one back together, I guess. I still don't have any feelings because of the brain injury. I've repaired mostly from everything, but my brain injury, they've told me it'll probably take 2 to 3 years, and that's probably true, because I still have brain injuries. So feelings, I can't breathe, I can't smell, I can't taste. So those things are going to be gone for a while, I guess. I'm not necessarily happy that I'm still alive, but I'm glad for my wife and daughter that I'm still alive, and my family, because they showed me during my recovery at the hospital that they care very much about me, and so I'm glad for them that I remained alive. I think that the total cost for me at the hospital and therapies down at UC Davis Medical Center was somewhere between $2.5 and $3.2 million. So it was a huge chunk of money for the insurance company to pay. Obviously, we didn't have to pay that because we can't, but my medical insurance had to pay that. So that was a pretty big bill. An amazing amount of money to bring one person back to life. Things that people wouldn't think that I've learned about during this experience. Because being in the situation that I was in, injured like this, mentally and physically, I've learned about things that should concern me that maybe didn't before. Like other people. I think before this accident I wasn't thinking enough about other people when I should be. And I didn't think about the right things maybe. But now I try to think about what's important. Like how people feel, how people are doing with their life. A lot of things about life that I didn't realize before because I wouldn't say self-centered, but I was very self-concerned before, and I wasn't looking out to the broad expanse of life. And now I think I am looking at those things now. And so that was the learning process that I've gotten from this. And I now see what a large expanse friendship has. It's very overwhelming even, and appreciated. I've learned about some things about life and about feelings. And I learned about loving my wife and daughter and family. Maybe more love than I knew existed before. After I got out of the hospital, I guess people were asking me if I was going to quit cycling. But I told them, no, I'm not going to quit cycling because I have no memory of getting hit. And also, because cycling was and remains a major part of my life. That's what I did for most of my waking hours. Is I either thought about cycling or I was actually cycling. Like on a 200-mile bike ride, I'd be riding for 12 to 14 hours at a time. And every day I rode my bike to work and back home. And so I wasn't coming to the point where I could ever just give that up. So that's why I'm still doing it. Because I can't just see myself giving that up. It's a major part of my life, and I think I must control my weight that way as well. So I can't just give it up.